said let there be light, yeah, and there was light. He divided it from dark, so he called it light day in the dark night. So evening and the morning were the first day, and it was good. Then God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. And God called the firmament heaven, so the evening and morning were the second day. Then God said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas, and it was good.
Our quad nods work.
When he spoke, he planted seeds.
We get it. Night vision is a superpower that you can buy. We've all heard it. There is a catch. In fact, there's actually 3 catches: weight, limited field of view, and cost. The Ground Panoramic Night Vision Goggle, or GPNVG, seeks to solve one of these 3 problems at the expense of the other 2. As the name implies, GPNVG offer a wide field of view, but they weigh more than singles and duals. Not surprisingly, quads also cost astronomically more as well. There are so-called panobridges and other dual-tube devices that do seek to increase the user's field of view for much cheaper than real panos as well. Do quads still make sense in a world where we can get wider FOV with our, quote, panos at home? These days there's a number of quads, dual tubes, and monocular housings on the market, so understand that I'm speaking in general terms in this video. Many viewers are already familiar with how night vision works, so I'll keep this section brief. Real night vision works by passing tiny amounts of light through phosphor crystal called intensifier tubes that amplify light and let you see in the dark. This technology has physical limits in size, weight, and FOV, field of view. There's a few 50-degree lenses on the market, but when you get past 40 degrees, you get to an undesirable fisheye effect due to the limits of lens geometry. So even at 50 degrees, it's still a very narrow field of view for standard night vision. Monocular night vision gives you low light capability, but you lose depth perception and situational awareness because it only uses one eye. Your reflexes will be slower, fighting ability is reduced, and you're less able to quickly and quietly navigate in uneven terrain. The benefits of a monocular are comparatively low price, lightweight, and one of your eyes is free to use, say, a thermal optic, or to see in ambient light and complete other administrative tasks. Generally, binocular night vision is better than a monocular because it solves the problem of depth perception, offering much better situational awareness and making it easier to quickly move and interact with environments. But standard dual tubes are still limited to about 40 to 50 degree field of view by the lenses. Standard binocular NVG do not actually increase your field of view over monocular, but they are beneficial in terms of depth perception and situational awareness. Panobridges and panning dual tube housings put each eye at an angle, so the user gets a wider field of view than standard binoculars, but for a much cheaper price than true panos. The drawback of this system is that humans have eyes in the front that focus ahead. Night vision and lenses are most clear in the center, so panning the tubes out means that you lose clarity in the center, the most important part of your field of view. Pan out too far, and people like myself will get a ring effect from your brain trying to make sense of the angled worldview presented by splayed out night vision tubes. In time, you can learn to work around it, but it's definitely a drawback worth noting, at least for some people. Lastly, in some panobridge systems, mating 2 PVS-14s ends up being much heavier than a dedicated dual-tube setup. Thankfully, there are newer housings coming on the market, like the Katana system, that may be solving the weight problem that panobridges face compared to standard dedicated dual tubes. I haven't tested the Katana system yet, but if a manufacturer wants to send me a housing, I do have spare tubes, and I'm definitely open to trying that system out. In contrast, quad nods do effectively destroy any complaints that you might have about FOV by using 4 intensifier tubes splayed out in an array, giving the user a comparatively panoramic FOV. The catch with panos is that each intensifier tube costs multiple thousands of dollars, and the quad nod housing adds a lot of complexity, aka cost, as well. Additionally, 4 of everything does add weight to your helmet setup. With the quad nods, we completely solve for FOV, but we end up with a heavier, more expensive, and more complicated unit. Interestingly, the quad nod housing I used also has a wider focus range when compared to a PVS-14. This means that when using quads, I can focus the image enough to not need prescription glasses. So are quads actually worth it? Yes, quads are totally worth it. The longer answer is that there are certain situations and certain people who will absolutely love them. Let's get into more details. Weight. If you have previous neck injuries, then maybe GPNVG aren't for you. But for someone who's moderately athletic, injury-free, the weight is manageable. The easiest way to solve the weight problem is with a very light helmet and a properly balanced counterweight. In this case, I'm running an Ops Core bump, but Team Wendy is also good to go. Running quads on a standard mil-spec Kevlar ballistic helmet is absolutely punishing on your neck. But with a very lightweight helmet, a balanced counterweight, and a proper suspension system, the weight has not been a huge factor for me. Cost. This one's a tough one, and may come with compromises. If you're on the line between duals and quads, a safe choice could be to just get a set of dual tubes and upgrade to the best quality tubes you can find. If you do have the funds, or you just want to send it, ask yourself if you're willing to trade image quality for field of view. Because for the cost of lower FOM quads, you can get an ultra high tier dual tube setup. For me, the lowest quality that I'd be willing to run in a quad nod would probably be about 1800 FOM. My eyes noticed higher FOM up to about 2000, and then you kind of hit this diminishing return. But FOM isn't everything, and another channel, Hop, has a great video explaining the details of tube quality, so watch that if you want to deep dive on it. Use case. For applications requiring high situational awareness and fast reaction times, quads are incredible, duals are great, and monoculars will get you by. But if you're spending a lot of time in a defensive or static, non-moving, or observational role, then you might be better off skipping all this nonsense and get a high-quality night vision monocular paired with a good thermal optic. Remember that night vision is great for moving around at night, but it's not very good at identifying threats at distance. In contrast, thermal is terrible for moving at night and land navigation, but with a thermal you can spot a potential threat from a literal mile away. Closing. Quads are highly effective, they're fun, they're definitely a major vibe. More than a status symbol, quads are an efficient way to move and shoot in the dark. Even still, dual tubes are lighter, smaller, a simpler design, and easier to pack on multi-day trips. All this results in duals being more practical and causing less fatigue over time. There's a lot of serious work being done with dual tubes, and even monoculars. Panobridges, aka Panos at home, do increase FOV, but they're not even close to the real deal. The weight of quads isn't that bad if you spring for a very lightweight helmet and set up a proper counterweight. And the speed gained from increased situational awareness in dynamic environments is truly incredible. Let me know what you'd like to see next in the comments. Got a couple options I'm thinking about. Thermal overlay, maybe an E-Cody or some sort of fusion device. Night vision, thermal, or laser reviews. We could do gun reviews. I've got a new B&T for the channel. Or I also have some more fun content. We got a 37mm launcher in, and so we've been having a ton of fun with that. And in the future down the road, I may also do another rally car or some sort of an off-road build as well. Anyway, I'll leave you with this. Quote, all of them are skilled with swords and trained in warfare. Each has his sword at his side to guard against the terrors of the night. Godspeed.